GM, what's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of FaZe Live. Today, we've got a very, very cool, very exciting guest joining us. We've got James, who is the founder at Watch.Fun. Watch.Fun being one of the most exciting new consumer Solana ecosystem apps to hit the Solana ecosystem, rather. James, what's going on, man? Thanks so much for joining us today.
I'm glad to be here. Not too much, just hanging out, Bangkok. It's late here, but I'm happy to be on.
Fantastic, man. Yeah, thanks so much for making the time. Really appreciate it. We're going to get stuck into a bunch of questions very shortly, but I would first of all like to take the opportunity to also introduce my amazing co-host, Godo, who is an absolute legend and the marketing lead at FaZe. What's up, Godo? How you doing, man?
Yo, doing good, dude. Stoked to be on here. Yeah, I've been seeing Watch.Fun around quite a bit the last month or so, I think. And to be honest with you, dude, I'm trying to get a new Rolex, so I'm stoked to jump in.
Let's go.
We can help you with
that. Amazing. All right, cool. Well, I think James, let's maybe start off with you can just give us a quick introduction. Well, it doesn't have to be quick. Give us the long introduction. Tell us who you are, where you're from, a little bit about your background, and a bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I mean, I'll stick with the relevant stuff in the crypto space. We've been building here for a while. Our company is officially called Chill Chat, but our product is called Watch.Fun. Some of the guys here listening might remember us from obviously Chill Chat, the product, which is a metaverse product. This was back when metaverse was kind of all the rage, 2021 era, like Sandbox, Decentraland, all that. And we were kind of envisioning the new Roblox or kind of this digital era that was going to be coming, or also a virtual world era that was coming. I was actually building this before it was called metaverse. So it was meant to be Roblox, but pixel art on the phone. And crypto just kind of came back onto my radar. I had done some stuff in crypto. Like in 2014, I was arbitraging some Bitcoin, and I helped another company raise during the ICO bubble. And when it came back this time, I was like, okay, like I've seen this cycle a few times. I want to be more involved this time. So then we kind of started showing it around, and then that actually led to us doing a round. So we raised about 8.69 million back in early 2022. Metaverse, Web3 gaming niche or genre. I mean, as you guys and all your viewers will know, metaverse is no longer a thing. That word is like poison. I don't think anyone even says it anymore. And the Web3 gaming hasn't really panned out. So we wanted to really build something that would be that would make a little bit more sense this time, resonate with the founders. Myself, I love watches, and also bring a little bit more value, I think, to crypto. So yeah, just been in the space for a while. One of the original kind of OGs in the Solana space.
Nice, man. Happy to hear that. And I think it's definitely a unique product, and it's something that no one else is doing. And I think there's also not a lot happening at the moment. You know, NFTs are more or less dead. Meme coins are dead. And I think people are actually looking for something that's fun that they can, be a part of. And who doesn't want to win an AP or a Rolex? In fact, that's a great question to start off with, which isn't even on my list. What does the kind of variety of watches that are up for grabs look like on your platform?
It ranges a pretty big gambit, but of course, the most popular stuff is going to be Rolexes, right? I think that's where everyone who's looking to start their journey, or anyone who's even in the space, they know Rolex is kind of like the golden standard. So obviously, lots of Rolexes, a lot of the hype stuff, like your GMTs, a lot of the name stuff. So your Pepsis, your Pandas, John Mayers, starter stuff like a standard Submariner. But we do really want to get a little bit more creative than that. So there's a lot of brands I've kind of come into that are not as popular, but have jumped onto my radar because I've spent a lot of time with watches as we've been building Watch.Fun. We've met a lot of people, a lot of collectors. So some of the stuff I really like is like JLC. They've got the Reverso. It's like the flipping watch, if you've ever seen that. Vacheron has a lot of really interesting stuff. It's kind of an underrated brand. these are also they're well-known brands, but they're not as well-known as, AP or Rolex or Patek. But yeah, we want to be across the whole range. So everywhere from Rolexes to, we want to be one of the first people to drop a Richard Mille. For people who know those, those things can start at like 250,000 going up into the millions. So we want to see how
those are my
interesting
favorites.
Get this. Oh, really?
Yeah. Richard Mille for me, obviously they're just stupidly expensive, but I just think that they are the most awesome, beautiful watches. They're so unique. They're like very like different, and oh man, for me, if I could have any watch right now, it would be one of those.
Okay, interesting. I actually really didn't like them at the start, but I sat down with one of our partners and suppliers and all that, and they've got an in-house Swiss trained watchmaker, and he like broke everything down to me and how complex and everything it is. And when you feel one in your hand, I think when you see the pictures, it doesn't really do justice, right? Like a lot of people who see the pictures, they scoff at like the 250,000 or $500,000 price tag. Like that looks like a toy watch. But once you hold one, you click some of the buttons, you turn some of the dials on there, and it's actually an insane engineering marvel.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think they're just, I haven't actually felt one myself, but I don't know, to me, they just look so like well made, and like, look, I think at the end of the day, you've got your classic Rolexes and stuff. But Original is just like it is a bit of a flashy piece, I guess. It's kind of like, it's like, look at me, I'm a badass. Maybe that's why I want one.
If you're, we were talking before the show, and you said that you used to spend a bit of time out in Hong Kong. So if ever you do go back out to Hong Kong and we meet up out there, I will. I hope I can put a Richard Mille in your wrist, and you can see what it's like.
Oh yeah, man, that sounds fantastic. Yeah.
When you brought up suppliers, I'm curious, like how does it work for you guys? Like, do you guys hold on to the inventory yourselves, or like how does that process work for let's say somebody wins?
Yeah, it's a mix. Okay, so if somebody wins, for sure we already have the inventory. Okay. We everything that you see on our website that we are marketing is already in inventory. So we're not doing this game where a lot of people. This is more on. I don't know. Like, I'm not dragging anybody here, but there are other also gambling tools where they offer very large inventories, but often they don't have those in inventory. It's only once somebody wins and they go and acquire it and they bring it back. That can work in some industries like cards or something like that, where they're less differentiated in quality as long as they're kind of sealed brand new. But in the watch game, it's a lot harder. A small hairline scratch from one watch to another, where it was bought, if it was bought in Bangkok, if it was bought in Hong Kong, all this stuff kind of starts to factor in. So we're a lot more careful with how we do this with watches. But yeah, in terms of inventory, we take a lot in, but we also have what you see on our website is also not kind of the extent of I won't say our inventory, but of what we have access to. So we have access to basically anything. Some things also obviously have to be sourced, but there's a large category of things that are basically available that we can reach into, grab, and then immediately bring out into a drop.
Nice, right on.
Yeah, so I've pulled up a couple of the upcoming drops, just so that everyone in the audience can have a look at what we got here. So we got an AP, the Rolex John Mayer Daytona. That is a beautiful watch, man.
Yes.
This is also crazy. $180,000 Patek. When is that one coming up?
That one is going to take a little bit, right? We got to build up the liquidity. We got to make sure that there's enough people who are interested in getting into drops. Once we get an idea of how tickets are selling, how hyped people are, then that's when we're going to kind of move up there. So we've sorted it right now based on price. We're going to start with some more entry level stuff, and then we're going to bring on a guest who's going to do a collaboration with us, which we'll announce at a later date. And that's where we're going to start to introduce some of the heavier hitters.
Amazing. Okay, sick. Well, I mean, look, I think even this, starting off with this Rolex Submariner, I mean, it's still a beautiful watch, and it's. Would this be like would you consider this like an entry level Rolex or like middle range?
I would say it's, the thing is, when I first got into this, I would say it's middle range for sure. Now that I've seen some crazy collections, like there are levels to this thing. So now to me, it's entry level. And then like super entry level is the stuff that, maybe people don't really, it's not really in demand, right? So you could get just some kind of random Oyster Perpetual or some random date just, nothing that's too hype, like not even a Wimbledon or something like that. So there's levels to it, but I would say this is the entry level of the hype watches of the popular stuff.
Amazing. All right, and then tell me, obviously, we know we've got Cabin, your co-founder, who's out in the audience. Shout out to Cabin. Tell me a little bit about how you guys kind of came up with the idea for Watch.Fun. Like, what was it that brought about? And how did you manage to buy the domain before someone else did? Because I've been I've been domain shopping a couple of times to look like which .funds are available, and so many of them are taken. So you guys must have been pretty stoked to get that.
Yeah. Actually, I think we picked it up for like $200. It was taken, but it was like a premium domain for sale, so it just cost us $200. It was nothing. Yeah, so we just lucked out. I thought about it and I was like, oh, that would be a good name. Went on Google, it was there. I was like, I can buy it, take it now. So I think we just serendipity. It was available. The moons aligned for us.
Fantastic.
In terms of Cabin, I mean, obviously him and I have been working together on Chill Chat, or we co-founded this company together back in late 2021. He was actually working at a game studio at the time when I pulled him from there. And I was able to recruit him because I showed him NFTs. We were like, this is like heyday NFTs. And I was like, look, I just bought this NFT. I just sold it. I made like a couple $1,000s. Like how easy this is. And then he was like, what's going on here? I need to learn more about this. So we just started hanging out, talking about NFT stuff. And I was like, by the way, like I'm working on this project. You want to, would you want to work on this with me? And actually he told me no at first. He's like, no, I can't. I'm partnered. He was a partner actually at the game studio. He's like, I can't. I got my own company. But after a while, as we kept going, then it just seemed right, and the fit was good. So he left that company and joined ours. For the idea, it's actually something that I was doing on my own in 2017. So I used to have a Rolex collection. I was a real estate agent in America, and everyone knows the meme. Like all realtors in America have Rolexes. It's like table stakes of success, right? If you show up to your client, whether it's like a buy side or a sell side, and you're driving a BMW, which I was driving a BMW, and if you've got a Rolex, they say, well, look at you, and you're like, okay, this guy can sell my house, right? Or like this guy can get me the house at the right price. So it was kind of through that I got introduced to it, started buying more as I was doing better in real estate. And it was some of the older guys that I was following. I kind of saw the stuff that they had and got into it. When I decided to move to Bangkok, I was kind of, this is 2017. So interest rates were low for a very long time. I thought interest rates got to come up. Like housing was from 2009, when I got into real estate, to 2017, it was like a very direct line up. So I figured real estate's going to crash. I'm going to get out of this. I'm just going to take some time off in Bangkok. Moved to Bangkok, fell in love with the place. I'm like, fuck that. I'm never going back. Bangkok is so cheap and so nice. I was like, I could just retire and live on my rental income if I wanted to do that. So I decided to sell all my watches because I was like, I don't really wear them and I don't need to flex for real estate anymore. So let me just sell this. And I decided to sell them all through raffle, because when you sell to dealers, if you want cash up front, you should expect to lose like 30 to 35%. If you're selling
that's a lot.
If you're flipping new, like if you go to retail, you buy brand new at retail and you sell, if it's a hot watch, you can actually make a lot. But that is a kind of a risky game in of itself that if you want, we can get into later. So yeah, I decided to sell all my watches and I sold them all through raffle, kind of in between Facebook groups and Reddit groups that I was part of. And I'm sure we'll dive into that later. While we were building one of our games, it was actually the last game that we built, which was Soul Arena. And we went to like Solana Breakpoint and everything. We built out this like snake game you could play for crypto. And I remember talking to Kevin. I was like, I do have this other idea we could explore. I've been thinking about it for years now because I've done raffles before. And I explained the concept to him, and he's like, "This sounds super fucking cool, but we make games. I'm like, this is not a game." And then our entire staff, like we had like a team of 30 people at the time. There's like game designers, artists, 3D artists, 2D artists, game developers, Unity, Unreal, all that. So it's like, okay, well, we don't. In theory, we have the team that can build it, right? Like a game developer that's worth the salt can usually get into web fairly easily. But with everybody else, like we'd have to make a big change to the company. So we ended up not doing it at that time. And then when we decided to shutter Soul Arena, I was like, okay, now the time is right. Like, we don't have anything kind of hanging over us. We can do a fresh start. Why don't we do this? And we were still really well capitalized, which is what allows us to have the inventory that we do. I think a lot of people would struggle to do this because they can't take that inventory onto their books because it's like $500,000 or more. It's not something you can do if you're not a funded company or you're bankrolling it from somewhere else.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. Okay, cool. So that's kind of how you got to where you're at now, more or less. And then out of interest, obviously, so the company's registered in Costa Rica, am I right? Or is it distributed setup?
It's distributed, but this platform in particular is going to be in Costa Rica for all the legal requirements for running a platform like this.
Okay, right. That makes sense. I mean, it's obviously like substantially easier to run something like this from Costa Rica than it would be from like the States or probably anywhere in Asia for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, actually in the States there are ways to do it, and we're kind of exploring all this now. I don't want to get too deep into legal stuff because I don't want to step on a pile of shit. But
that's totally fine.
Yeah, but there is actually completely legal ways to do this in America, and it's called sweepstakes, right? So there's you have to meet certain requirements as it pertains to how free entries and all that kind of stuff works. And we all of our core team also still does come from gaming, so we know how to gamify that in a way where we can both meet legal requirements and make the product more interesting for our users.
Amazing. Yeah, cool. All right. And why is it that you think that raffles are kind of so embedded in watch communities? Like, obviously, you mentioned earlier that, one of the kind of best ways to go about it and kind of get that instant liquidity is to do raffles. But what is it that you think kind of like embedded them into the culture and communities?
If I had to guess, because I don't know that I know for certain, I think in any collectible niche, you kind of get people with like this degen gene, right? Like, okay, so if you're a collector, why are you collecting? Right? It's either you're super passionate about this thing that you have, right? It could be a baseball card, it could be a Pokemon card, it could be a watch, it could be shoes. You're collecting it because you like it, but there's also going to be somewhere in there where you like it because other people like it, which then establishes an economy around this thing, right? And so then this has to become valuable. And when they become valuable and you're collecting them, inevitably you're going to value your own collection. You're like, okay, well, what do I have that, like, what is it worth, right? And we could date this all the way back to like Beanie Babies on eBay a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right. So I think this gene of like, okay, I'm buying these things and they can go up in value is very directly related to like risk on gambling behavior. So you get these people who are collecting these high ticket items that are being assigned value through a community. And then they take that, and you like one step removed from that is, okay, well, I've got this thing. It is a high ticket item, so it's hard to sell to one person. Why don't I sell it to many people, and one person can win that grail or that dream piece that they want? And so you actually you match liquidity with demand very well, particularly in that community, and with a group of people who are willing to take that risk, right? People who are willing to buy a Pokemon card for $1,000 is like a very different person than someone who's out there just buying like regular consumer goods.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like a case of, I mean, I remember even with NFTs, you could raffle off your NFTs on Famous Fox. And I think that's something that I always wanted a D-God. I've got two now, but I really wanted one for a long time. And often I would try win one from one of those raffles. I never got lucky with a D-God. I won a couple of other things, but I think raffles are like a really cool way of kind of making it possible to attain something that's potentially out of reach, or that's like maybe a little bit like, you know, I mean, like if I go back to what the Watch.Fun website and I look at some of these watches, like, I mean, there's no way I would be able to go and like afford $180,000 watch. But if I could put like $50 or $100 and stand a chance of winning $180,000 watch, you know, maybe I'd do it. And yeah, so I think it's a novel concept, and I really like that you've kind of, I guess a good thing to ask now would be like, what was your decision to bring it on chain versus doing it traditionally, you know, doing it like the Web 2 route? What was your decision to do it on Solana?
Yeah, so on the crypto side, having done it before, right? Like it's all very underground right now. You've got these Facebook groups, Telegram groups, there's Reddit, obviously, and the way it works is like extremely manual. I've both hosted raffles and participated in them. And so when you're participating, the raffle goes up, right? It's usually like a chat message or someone makes a post. You're kind of sitting there like refreshing your page. If it's Reddit, that was like back in the day. On Telegram, of course, it's going to shoot you a notification. Each platform kind of has their own problems, right? So on Reddit, you're sitting there refreshing. You're hoping to get in as quickly as you can. It does pop up. You click, it's loading. People are commenting. So you have to basically type in like as quickly as you can. Like, okay, like I want 1 slot or 2 slots. If it's Telegram, you kind of have a flip problem. You know when it gets launched, but so does everybody else. Everyone starts talking, and then the chat starts to flood. And then usually like the admin will like pin the message, and then you have to like keep scrolling back. You're like counting like how many people have messaged. Am I confirmed or not? Like, did too many people jump in before me? And so like it's just this super uncoordinated process. And on the flip side, when you're hosting it, it's also a nightmare, right? Like people are like, hey, am I in? Am I in? You're like getting DMs like, did you get me? Like, did you see my thing? And then you're kind of like following like, look, I'll get back to you. Give me 1 second. And so it's basically just chaos, right? These are not platforms that were designed for this. It works well enough, right? Like I think the reason why these are, it's basically like an emergent behavior in these communities, because you already have this group of people who like this thing, right? Or it could be watches, Poke markets, whatever it is. They're in this group together. And since you're already in like a social group, it kind of like naturally becomes one of these things where, oh, well, let's just do a raffle one day. And then everyone who's already in the community can then just immediately participate, right? So you kind of already have a seeded community, which probably has some liquidity. And then you make this comment, and then everyone just does it there with the tooling that they have. So you kind of just make do with what you have. So that's like the coordination side. On the payment side, there's like an entirely separate problem. So on Reddit, we used, at the time when I used it the most, it was through PayPal Friends and Family. And so Friends and Family, because there's no fees, right? Because if you do PayPal Business, you have to pay a fee for every single transaction. And there's also no ability to like refund, basically. You can't like charge back. Because obviously you can see the people are like, oh, I just charge this back, I get my money back, right? Then it's like we thought the drop was filled, and that we got all the money, and then one got refunds. Like, well, suddenly all the money's not here anymore. But PayPal sees that as very strange behavior that looks a lot like money laundering, because one guy suddenly gets $100 from 100 people, and like they're wondering what that is, right? If it happens once, maybe it's a party. If it happens a lot, PayPal doesn't like that. And so if the account gets frozen, everyone's fucked. Like everyone who put money there, that money is going to be frozen for months. And the thing is, you can't really be like, oh, like we're not doing anything illegal, we're just doing a raffle. PayPal is going to be like, that's pretty close to illegal by our terms of service, and like we also don't allow that. So it's not great. There's actually, if you go into these groups, right, there's strict rules. When you send money to PayPal Friends and Family, put nothing in the comments. If you put a comment, you're perma-banned. You'll never be able to participate again.
Wow.
Because some idiots who go like, I have raffle number like 63. And then, when PayPal reviews this and they see like $100 coming in from 100 different people, and they see this one comment, like, okay, yeah, like you guys are clearly doing something against the rules. They're just going to freeze all the money.
Yeah, that's wild.
So payment is a nightmare. The alternative is it's crypto, right? And then you have no idea who you're paying. Are they going to send it back? Of course, there's no recourse if you send money to the wrong person on crypto. And then I think the thing that people take for granted, but is actually pretty risky. Looking back now, I took it completely for granted. I am some random stranger on the internet offering a Submariner. Now, I still have all the pictures of when I did these drops back in the day. I would literally take my watch, put a piece of paper next to it, write my Reddit username or write my Facebook name, and then I'll write the date and I'll take a picture of it. And that's how we like verified that like you had the watch. Now, fakes weren't as good in 2017 as they are today. And there was no AI, right? Today, I could AI generate that thing. I'll AI generate a watch with a note next to it that says today's date on it, right? And then the fakes are so good nowadays that if you put them side by side in a photo, you cannot tell. You have to feel it in your hand. In some cases, you have to open it if it's like a super high tier fake. So it's like getting increasingly risky that if you do a raffle today with some random group of people, it could be a Frankenstein watch. I mean, like, let's not even talk about raffles. If you go out to Diamond Street, which is like where all the watch stuff happens in America, 47th Street or Diamond District, even there, when you buy from like reputable people, you can get Frankenstein watches, which is to say that it's a watch, you bought it, right? Let's say you buy a John Mayer, right? Which is a golden Daytona with a green dial. But that green dial could be aftermarket because the regular gold. So my partner Kevin, he's got a Daytona with a black dial. If you pull that black dial out, you put a green dial in there, and it looks like a John Mayer, the price just went up by like 20 grand. So a lot of people do that. So you have to be very careful of the stuff that you're getting. You could be you could be going into a raffle thinking it's a John Mayer, a $40,000 watch, and it's some Frankenstein that's like got all these weird parts in it, aftermarket parts, the gears, all this stuff could be internally swapped out. And when you try to sell that thing or whatever you want to do with it, it is not going to be worth what you think it's worth. So solving that for us is sourcing real certified Swiss watchmakers that open every piece, inspect everything, and make sure it's 100% authentic so we can drop it and people can like have complete trust that it will be real.
I love that. I think that's like one of the most important things is, they always said, there was a saying in crypto, I don't know if it's still relevant, but people would always say, don't trust, verify. And I think that's where you guys have really hit the nail on the head with this, is that you've created that point of, I don't even know if this is a word, but verifiability, where people know that any watch that they're entering a raffle for, if it says that it's a Rolex Panda Daytona, then it's going to be a Rolex Panda Daytona. If it says that it's an AP Silver Royal Oak, you know that it's going to be an AP Silver Royal Oak. So yeah, I think that's like an excellent way of kind of making sure that you guys have that trust. And in a lot of ways, that puts you definitely a cut above like the traditional way of doing it. And then obviously you've got the Solana rails. And I think, something I guess that would be helpful with Solana is just how fast it is, how cheap the transactions are. It's super easy to use. Like, I mean, I guess, and you guys were already building on Solana, right?
Yes. Yeah. All the games we built were for Solana. And what Solana basically affords us to do is to put everything on chain. So everything is verifiable. What that means is the tickets you buy, you'll buy with USDT or USDC. You will see yourself get tickets. Now, the tickets are not a token because we don't really want people trading them. We can get into that if you want to, but there's some reasons why. But what we do use is what's called a PDA. So a PDA is a programmable something. I can't exactly remember what it stands for. But what it allows us to do is basically have a database in our own little program where we can track each person's tickets, and all that is verifiable on chain. From there, they can use those tickets, enter into raffles or into drops, and we track all that on chain as well. So like, okay, the tickets you spent, what entries did you get, and what numbers are those, all the way down until it's filled. And then the RNG mechanic itself, or the draw where you actually select a winner, that is also on chain. We use something called Switchboard VRF for that, which is a very popular Oracle, and basically it uses a bunch of validators together to generate one number together, so no one person can influence it or cheat it, and then that you've got a proper draw. So this is like fully verified on chain, fully verified on the logistics and supply side, to just solve all the trust problems that exist in the current offerings.
Amazing. I think that kind of brings us pretty close to a walkthrough from Wallets Connect to entering the raffle. Is there anything else you want to kind of touch on in terms of the actual process of entering a raffle?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, the most important thing is I think trust is table stakes, right? So you have to have trust. If we were building without trust, we wouldn't have a product. And so all the stuff we talked about just now solves the trust problem. But as a team that comes from gaming, how do we make this entertaining? How do we make this fun so you'll want to come back? How do we make the experience, particularly within the people who have passion in this industry or in this niche, which is watches for now, how do we make them get more out of that experience, right? So the obvious steps is like literally get onto the platform, get tickets, browse drops, enter a drop, wait for it to drop, see who wins, right? But for us, it's okay, when you're entering the tickets, how do we make it satisfying when you're scrolling and you're spending tickets and you're seeing your entries go up? You're seeing your odds update live in real time. As all the people enter, you're seeing your odds get adjusted as more people are moving in. So it's like complete transparency and gamification simultaneously. You always know what your odds are. As you want to put in more, like before you lock it in, before you spend it, you'll see what your new odds are going to be. As you do enter it, you see where you stand on a leaderboard with everybody else. And then, of course, that's dynamically moving. Real-time updates of how quickly it's filling up, what percentage is remaining. Did a new whale just join? How much did they get? Did they hit a max or something like this? All of that, the experience making it really feel fun. And then storytelling. We could just take a picture of a watch, throw it on our website and be like, okay, click the buttons and like get your chance to win. But how do we tell stories about these watches that drew people into this industry to begin with, right? Like, why do we like watches? A watch is ineffective at telling time, right? Relative to a mobile phone. You have to wind it if you haven't worn it in a while, right? So it's not really a utilitarian device, but the artisanship and the craft and the brand and what they have put into it to build this and what it means when you wear it and what you indicate to the world around you when you wear it, that is the story that we want to tell. And there's a lot of ways we can tell that, right? So, okay, we're going to drop a GMT Pepsi, let's say. Why is it called a Pepsi? Where did it come from? Where did the GMT come from? Why is the GMT a 24-hour watch and what is that used for? What marvels did Rolex break when they first came out with that ceramic dial for the GMT? That also means that the photos we take, micro lens photos, super, sorry, is it micro or macro? I think it's micro lens or macro. Yeah, it might be macro. Macro lens, so you can see all those intricate details up close and that is the actual watch you're going to get if you win. Not like, oh, I went on Google and we found some watches, but like, this is going to be your watch. This is going to be the watch that the community is going to be able to enjoy. All of that is how we educate and increase the luxury fluency of our community and how we actually build a community, right? Like a bunch of passionate people that come together that help each other get watches. And I actually mean that, right? Because this isn't a casino, right? You walk into a casino and the casino can bleed you dry. If I walk into a casino with $1 million, the longer I stay there, I will go to zero. Like that is the way a casino is designed. But if 1,000 people show up here, one person is going to walk away with a watch and everybody else will have helped that person get that watch. So it's not just like, oh, I lost and he won, but we are like basically crowdsource insurance funding this hobby for each other. And so we teach people about watches. We build a community where people are happy to see other people win. And like as game designers, again, we think about, okay, if you win a watch, what can we build on our product that makes you able to congratulate me better? So we have a feature coming where, Chris, let's say you win the watch. I can actually push a button that will send you a message from me and like, yo, Chris, congrats for winning the watch. I can put in a custom message. But on top of that, I can actually like tip you, right? I could give you like, yo, congrats on the watch. Here's 7 free tickets. You might be thinking like, well, I just want a watch. Why do I need more tickets? But if you want to build like a generous community, you want people to want you to win and you want to want other people to win. So
exactly.
we really want to just build this really generous, in it to win it together community all around this specific passion. And that goes beyond, the stats, just the odds, the money you put in and the watch you get. And that is like retention. That's how we build something long-term, and not just people come in, lose some money and then fuck off and go do something else.
Exactly. I think community is super important with any crypto product at the end of the day. But I also think fun at the end of the day. If I have fun using a product and I lose money on it, I'll still go back and use it again because I had fun using it. If something is redundant and I feel sad after I've used it, then I'm not going to use it again. You want to have like a good example for me is ring packs on Magic Eden. I love Pokemon cards. I've got a bunch right here on my table in front of me. So for me, ripping packs is something that I don't do it all the time, but it's something that I love doing. It's super fun getting to kind of reveal all the cards, and it's a combination of like doing that on chain. So I think having a good, strong community with like-minded people who are interested in the kind of subject matter, and having a product that is equally fun and enjoyable to use, that's when you kind of start discovering product market fit. And that's when people, you can expect growth and things will really start doing well. And I do think you guys have nailed that. I think you've got a really cool concept going. And I'm excited to see what happens over the coming weeks and months. So moving on to kind of the next section, I wanted to chat to you a little bit about, I see that you guys also have a questing program. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of in the lead up to the actual launch, right?
Yes.
Could you speak a little bit more to the questing platform? And then also, have you got a confirmed launch date yet, or is that still TBA? Curious to know a little bit more about that side of things.
Sure. So the questing platform is, obviously in the crypto space, this kind of stuff is pretty run of the mill. It's just a way to get a little bit of engagement going, and give people some free shots on goal. But for me, it's also a bit of an experiment of how do we gamify this further when the full product launches, right? What do people actually enjoy doing to get more deeply woven into the product? How else would they communicate or engage with each other on the product? So the questing platform itself is really, for now, a way to take certain actions, get some free points, and have a chance to win a Starbucks Submariner. The draw for that is going to be going a little bit after our product launches. So once the product launches, we're going to be launching some new quests on the actual product, which is going to help you get tons of points very quickly and get caught up if you didn't hear about us early on. For the date itself, very soon. We can't announce a date yet because we're going through all of our security audits now. We want to make sure that this thing, particularly with the space right now, right? We obviously has had some bad things happen recently. So we're getting audits now. That is kind of taking the time that it's going to take. But I would say we are very close and on our side, basically ready to push the button, but pending some feedback.
Amazing. Okay, great. And then kind of last thing, obviously, you've already got quite a nice sized community. I'm curious to know if the Chill Chat Games community was that converted into the Watch.Fun community, or does that look like? Is it an entirely new community that's been kind of built from the ground up? How does that look?
It's both. So there was a lot of our existing community members, just by the DJ nature, that were interested in this other one. Even before we ever moved into watches, some of the people that were farming the game or partaking in some of the other events that we had would talk about when this goes to the moon, I'm going to buy this Rolex or whatever. But when we did pivot, we saw a large drop off. So a lot of people churned out of the Discord. And we purposely tried to actually churn people out of the X because we want to make sure that the people who are interested today are actually the target audience. So I think it's a mixture of both, but we've grown significantly after the relaunch.
Awesome. All right, and then kind of one of the last things that I want to touch on before we wrap up is I want to talk a little more about RWAs and fractional ownership and lending and secondary markets. Obviously, you've got this kind of on-chain economy now that's happening with like Pokemon cards, where you're seeing, people actually. I mean, if you look at Magic Eden, I bring up Magic Eden again, but Collector Crypt is the number one highest volume item on Magic Eden right now. It's the most traded assets on Magic Eden are actually Pokemon cards at the moment. Yeah. So do you think Watch.Fun could be something that potentially evolves into a platform that does stuff like lending and fractionalized ownership, or is it going to stay purely as a raffle platform?
It's funny because whenever we speak with our VCs or mostly VCs about this, they always bring up like fractional ownership and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. My view on fractional ownership is it's largely bullshit. Because at the end of the day, one person is going to want the watch, right? Like, okay, I take an AP, right? I just fractionalize this into, 50 pieces, and then nobody gets to hold the watch. I don't know. I personally don't think that's interesting. For us, we can actually put watches on wrists. I think that means a lot more. That's real RWA. Something sitting on a chain, but is actually somewhere in somebody's house or in like a vault somewhere. I don't know. I don't. That doesn't interest me as much. In terms of turning into a platform, for sure, that's part of our vision and what all the cool different things that we want to do with that. But I don't know. When we announced this change, all of our VCs basically told us like, don't do this. It's not going to work. And then they linked us a bunch of stuff, and everything that we looked at was all people trying to fractionize luxury watches. And we're like, this is not what we're trying to do. I would have to like get into the calls and explain to people, show them like what I used to do. Literally like walk them through the websites and like, oh, okay, I get it. This is, I can see what you guys are trying to do now.
Got you.
Secondary as well. There's a lot of great secondary dealers out there. I don't know that interests me. I don't know that I can offer anything better than what they're doing right now. Let the dealers be the dealers. They have a flow for that. For us, we want to focus on entertainment and community and building it around that and these objects that we love.
Great answer. I love that. I think it's so important at the end of the day to have that kind of focus. I've seen it many times in the space, especially in crypto, where people they try and do too many different things. You got like 5 or 6 different things going on, and you're trying to juggle all of these different balls, and it really doesn't work. Like having one core product and having a team that's passionate, that's focused on that single thing is super, super important. So I think that was an excellent answer. Cool. And then I guess any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Well, we kind of touched on the topic of like, okay, well, what would the vision be then? Like, what else would we be looking at doing? As you said, like we want laser focus, right? Which is why it's called Watch.Fun. So we wanted it all about watches because, like let's say it's like luxury.fun and we're doing all sorts of like luxury goods. If you start with that, I think it's a lot harder for people to understand, like, is this product for me or not? That being said, that trajectory is on our roadmap. So we want to start with watches, with Watch.Fun. We want to conquer that space and spend enough time in it to understand how much we can actually improve people's luxury fluency, right? Like, can we take people who just wanted a Rolex and now they want, Patek, or maybe beyond that. Now they've gotten a taste for FP Journe or Richard Mille, or maybe even some of the more like, not necessarily just more expensive, but more smaller houses. I say small by like brand hype, Vacheron or GLC, or can we even bring in some up and coming micro brands that are also highly collectible? They're also like $50,000 to $100,000 watches, but they maybe make like 10 a year, and they're not very well known unless you're really deep in the space, right? So are we able to how deep are we able to go? And then after that, we do want to expand into other luxury categories, right? So I think from watches to fine jewelry is a natural evolution. That could be Cartier, Van Cleef, Tiffany, some of the more well-known jewelry that holds value very well. And then once you have jewelry, right? So men and women can both wear jewelry. Once the women come in and they're interested in the jewelry, the natural expansion is, okay, well, how do we get into handbags, right? How do we do Hermes and Goyard and all this kind of stuff? And I'm not an expert on that today. I probably will be in like a year or so. But that also means like, okay, well, who do we need to bring in so that we can have that taste be curated very well, and that the women who show up are represented just as well. And like, okay, like this Hermes bag, maybe the girl doesn't do it, but maybe she's like, yo, you have to win to her boyfriend or whoever. You have to win me this bag. This is my dream bag. And if I get this bag, I'm going to flex on all my girlfriends. And then, like, what does that do for our platform? But the end vision, like the end state or final state of what Watch.Fun is supposed to be, is an open creator drop platform. So imagine, I love anime. I love video games. I mean, we used to run a gaming studio, right? So in all these games, right, you have Final Fantasy VII, you have Sephiroth, you've got the Cloud Buster Sword, you've got Sephiroth's giant long katana, and there's these guys who make these swords on YouTube. And I've watched these guys, are like blacksmith people, they forge these swords. And the way that content creator today monetizes is just through views, because he only has one sword. You can't really sell it. Who's he gonna sell to? But what if you could craft that sword, still monetize on YouTube, but also live stream or create that content on Watch.Fun? And then you've got this huge audience that has seen you make it. They've literally seen every intricate detail that you, and on the time that you took to build that sword. And now you can drop it to your audience, and one person can actually take that home, and everybody else can help fund that person. For the content creator, now he can sell this sword that he spent like a month making. He could sell that for $10,000 or maybe even $100,000 if he's got enough followers. And he just has to charge, let's say, like $10 or something like that per person. So we can actually unlock a new creator economy that is different to like what you see on TikTok, where it's, you know, it's one cheap product to many people, right? That's how you monetize. You're making tiny amounts off of every single thing you're selling. Now we can sell one thing, high ticket, to my entire fan base, monetize my whole fan base, still off of just one ticket item. And I think if we can pull that off, we'll have changed what crypto consumerism can become, and this whole, you know, consumer crypto thesis, and what it actually enables for people to do.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for that, James. That was a great monologue there. But yeah, appreciate you joining today, man. And good luck with everything. Would love to get you guys back on the show again soon. Maybe we can get Cabin up next time as well.
Sure.
And yeah, take care, man. Thanks again.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming up, brother.
Okay. All right.
That's
now
sick.
it is me and I know, dude. How cool. So much fun. That was really, really great having him up. All right. It is now time for myself and Gotto to rip some packs on Packly.
Yeah, let's
we
do
are
it.
also gonna we got some cards to give away as well, don't we?
Yeah, I think we do. I think there's one or two.
We do indeed. Okay, let's have a look at the infantry and see what we got. I think we said we're going to give away the nicest cards. So let me quickly pull up my screen. Let's have a look here. Shout out to Buckets as well. Buckets probably in the audience. Thanks for hooking us up. We're going to be having a lot of fun on Packly today. All right. Let's pull this bad boy up. Okay, so what we are going to be giving away in today's, yeah, these are the big pulls from the last stream. I think what we should do is I think we should give away these two because these are the highest value, and the other two we should sell for more diamonds. What do you think, Gotto?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. You sell that one for some more diamonds and this one for some more diamonds because those are not super rare cards. Okay, at the end of the stream, we're going to be picking two people from the comments to win these cards. So make sure you drop a comment in the stream, drop a comment on the FaZe Live actual live stream, and we'll be picking some people to win one of these two cards. But for now, let's rip some packs, man. What are you feeling today, Gotto? I'll let you pick. I'll let you pick today.
Let's see. I don't know, man. Let's go. Let's try one of the Cross Rift packs.
Okay, cool. Let's do it. So the hit from that pack is the Team Rockets Mewtwo. Funny story about that. I actually
Oh,
pulled one of these. Dude, the first booster pack I opened in like 7 or 8 years, and I pulled this card.
dude, I pulled one when we were at when we went to Mountain Dow. Let's see if I can find it.
One of those. Team Rockets Mewtwo.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, but it's not English though.
Oh, that's a shame. But I mean, I
And
guess
it
it
wasn't
doesn't matter.
even. Oh wait, never mind. That wasn't even the card. I lied to you.
Well,
It was a
show us
different
anyway.
card.
You've got us all riled up now. I can't
the
see it.
blur is fucked up.
Oh, that one's sick though, dude. I love that one.
Yeah, one of these ones. I don't know how I get
Yeah,
the blur, but
I
you know
actually
what it is.
I prefer that one to the Team Rockets Mewtwo. The art's so sick where he's like floating in the air and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
dope.
Let's see what we got here. All right.
Can you hear my dog crying in the background?
I can.
Oh,
can.
oh.
But it's
Go.
not too bad. It's not too bad. Don't stress. All right. We got Misty Staryu, Growlithe, Mao Rotom. Interesting. Ethan's Quilava. Oh man, I love Typhlosion. Super cool card. Bro, these new Pokemon cards. Squawkabilly. It actually kind of looks kind of cool. Marnie's Leopard. That's also quite a cool looking one. Hippodon. Lurantis. Okay, come on, give us a banger. Whoa! Woo! SIR, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, Team Rockets Raticate. Sick.
Dude, what a banger.
Dude, let's go. Okay,
That's
first pack was a good one. Let's see what it's actually worth in terms of diamonds. Okay, 600 diamonds. So it's not a grail, but it's still a grail. Okay, so we're gonna keep this one, and we're gonna sell all the rest because we don't like keeping the basic stuff. Okay, let's do. I really want to do another. I didn't have any good luck last week with the 515, so let's do one of these, and then we'll do one more each after this.
Okay, bet.
Okay, we're gonna do another 515. Let's see. So obviously the big pulls from this pack is the Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. Zapdos is an absolute banger. And then Goto, I know you said you love this Alakazam, right?
I do. Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Okay, let's see what we get. I like the sound that it made when we ripped that illustration rare.
It lags a bit on my end, so like I can hear the sound from you, but like I couldn't see the card yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, let's go through this next pack. We got a Charmander, Weedle, Pidgey, Bulbasaur, Voltorb, Haunter. Okay, here it comes. Parasect, Pidgeotto, Rattata, Mewtwo. Oh, nothing special from that one, unfortunately. I think we sell all of these ones, Goto. What do you think?
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. Okay, your turn to pick a pack, broski. What are we gonna smash?
Let's do the Ascended Heroes pack, dude.
Okay. All right, let's do it. We're obviously looking for I think the SIR from this, the best top SIRs from this one is the Mega Gengar EX, the Pikachu EX, and the Mega Dragonite EX. For me personally, it's this Mega Dragonite.
100%.
And I love this.
Yeah.
And the Pikachu, bro. The Pikachu is so sick. I love the Gengar, but I don't know. There's something about that Dragonite for me. Just the color palette on that card is so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. What do we got? A Reboot. Oh, man. These new Pokemon cards. Oh, they're so funny. Reboot. Okay. Team Rockets. Tarantula. Original. Roly-Coly. I mean, bro, what is that even supposed to look like? Roly-Coly. Metacham.
This is just
Interesting.
a piece of coal.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Some of the new Pokemon are, I don't know, not as cool as the originals.
Like they put zero effort into it or something.
Yeah, with a lot of them. I like this one, Score Bunny.
ChatGPT.
That's quite. Yeah, probably. Mawile. This is actually from an older generation of Pokemon. I think this is like Gen 2 or Gen 3. Pignite. I mean, come on, bro. Ultra Ball. Give us a banger. Come on. Another Score Bunny. Ah, an EX. Okay, we'll take it. But I think nah, you know what? Let's sell all of these. I don't think there's anything really worthwhile here. A reminder, we're going to be giving away 2 cards. So don't forget to drop a comment. And we'll be picking someone from the comments to win some pretty cool cards. All right. It's my turn to pick. I've been staring at the Zekrom at the bottom for the last like 10 minutes. So I reckon we pull one of these Dark Arc packs. If I pull a Zekrom, I'm legit gonna like lose my shit. Even this Zekrom, this SIR is actually so crazy.
Too, actually.
Dude, I actually pulled this Victini a couple of months ago. On another platform, which I'm not going to talk about, but I did pull this Victini and I sold it. I think I sold it for like $1,000 or something. Crazy card. Okay, let's see what we got. Big one. Big one. Come on.
All right, let's go.
Dynamo. What? Interesting. Pidove. Okay, come on. Really? Clink? Bro, this Loki looks like Magnemite. It's like a futuristic version of Magnemite.
Is this the first time you're seeing some of these Pokemon?
Yeah, dude, definitely. I'm not familiar with any of these. Okay, this one looks kind of cool. This is the evolution of Pidove. Tranquil. I like that. That's pretty cool. Oh my goodness. Ordino. This reminds me a little bit of like Chansey or Jigglypuff. Bit of a girly one. Anyway. Darmanitan. Okay. Behem. All right. Another Tynamo. Okay, here comes a banger. Klinklang. Klinklang. Okay, we got. Is that really the best pull from this pack? Oh man. Okay, 2 rares, which is fine. But Klinklang and Conkeldurr. So yeah.
Oh, damn, you got rinsed on that pack.
I got rinsed hard, broski. We're gonna sell all of those. Come, we need one more.
That's bound to happen. We cooked last stream.
We did. And to be fair, the first pull we had in the stream was an illustrator rare. So let's see what else we can see what else we can make happen here. All right, your turn to pick. What are we gonna do?
Let's do the Apex Evolution pack.
Apex Evolution. Okay. Okay, so obviously the mega hyper rares in this pack are the Mega Lucario and the Mega Gardevoir EX. But there's also some incredible SIRs. So the Mega Lucario is one of my personal favorites. I really like this Mega Absol. And I think this also has some good illustration rares. So a lot of people collect the Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and I don't know if there's a Venusaur. I've actually got the Steelix, super nice card. So yeah, some cool stuff to pull from this pack. Let's see what we get. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay, we've got a Litleo, a Dalmise. That's interesting looking.
What was
A
that?
Pachirisu. Oh, that's cute. I like that. That's original. To me, this looks like an original Pokemon. I like that. A Magneton. Nice original 151 card. Makuhita. Lily's Determination. Shedinja. Also second gen Pokemon. A Beware. Okay, last one. Or second last one. Ooh, nice. We got another Illustrator rare. Let's go.
Nice. Right on.
That's a cool looking one, man. I love that.
Oh, there's one more.
Oh, dude, let's go. Okay, we're
Nice.
cooking.
There you go.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna keep those two for sure. Let's just add them to our baskets, and then we sell the rest. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with our pulls from today. I think let's just do one more pack each for the culture. Last pack magic. I'll go first, and then you can pick next. I want to another 515. I'm feeling lucky. I want to pull the Blastoise or the Charizard.
Okay, run it.
Okay, drum roll. Okay, Lickitung, Geodude, Voltorb, Pikachu, clean Pikachu, Zubat, Fearow, Tentacruel, Doduo. Okay, here we go, bro. Oh. Okay, wait, hold up. One more. Oh, come on. Oh, bro, that's got ripped hard, bro. Like the best card is a Dodrio. Really? God damn. Okay, sell all. Okay, got it. It is your turn again, good sir. Pick your last pack.
Okay. Let's see. What have we not done yet?
Haven't done the Dawnfire. And we haven't done Prismatic. Prizzy.
I hate the prismatic evolution packs. Let's do the voltage rush. Let's get a nice Pikachu.
Okay. All right. Voltage Rush. Voltage Rush it is. Bro, this is so addictive. Honestly, I could just sit here doing this all night.
And no kidding, dude. It's like
Okay, Voltage
anytime like I can't buy physical packs and like keep them around. Like I'm gonna rip them easily.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Actually, I met with Seb today.
Nice.
Yeah, we each ripped. I bought some Ascended Heroes packs for him about like a month or two ago.
Oh yeah.
We each ripped a pack. We both got absolutely destroyed. Oh, this is cute. Celio. Oranguru. That's quite a cool looking one. Duraludon. Time. Meowstic. Meddling Memo. Okay, what have we got? Slackheart. Okay, come. This is going to be a banger. This is going to be a banger.
Come on.
Whoa! Holy! What is that? A Black Purim EX. Okay, that looks pretty sick.
Okay, that looks sick.
I don't know how much it's worth. Oh, it's not bad. Okay, we'll keep that one. We'll add that to our infantry and sell the rest. Okay.
Beauty.
So let's see. Let's have a look. See, have we got any? We haven't got any comments on the stream. Let's quickly check and see if we have anything on the main post on the FaZe account. We quickly swap over here because we got some cards to give away. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. There's still time to enter, guys. If you're watching right now, literally go drop a comment. We got some cards to give away. So, yeah, go drop a comment and we'll be picking someone shortly. All right, let's see here. Hey, no one's entered. Oh, well. I guess then the cards are out.
Way to do it. The chat is so buggy on X, like
for real.
You can never like see past chats and shit. I think the best way to do it, maybe we do.
I mean, there was a lot of comments, to be fair, earlier on in the stream. So we could always, we could give the cards to someone else who commented earlier on in the stream.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think let's do that.
Yeah, I see Doko. Maybe we do one of the cards to Doko, one of the cards to Pat, and then we can do Digi. We give a card to Digi.
Okay, bet that works. And I think for next week's cards, maybe we should, on our next stream post, we'll add them to that. And then you have to interact with that stream to get next week's.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Great idea. All right, brother. Well, that was a super fun stream. Thanks so much for joining. Yeah, I think I hope you have a great week further, man. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you, bro. Enjoy your night, man. That was fun.
You too, brother. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Ciao.